What was the first mistake humans ever made? Let's try an experiment. Imagine we could rewind history all the way back to the very first human mistake, and erase it. Would the world become a better place? At first. Probably. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody dies. Everything goes perfectly. Sounds great. Except, there's one tiny problem. Almost everything that made us human exists because somebody messed up. Take fire. Maybe our ancestors weren't trying to invent cooking. Maybe they accidentally dropped meat into a fire, then discovered it tasted better. Oops. Best accident ever. What about farming? Imagine carrying a basket of seeds. You trip. Seeds spill everywhere. Months later, plants start growing. Congratulations. You've accidentally invented agriculture. Even today, some of the biggest discoveries in history happened because something went completely wrong. Penicillin was discovered after a scientist forgot to clean up his laboratory. Microwave ovens were inspired by a chocolate bar melting in someone's pocket. Sticky notes exist because a glue experiment failed. So maybe the first mistake wasn't the beginning of disaster. Maybe it was the beginning of progress. Now imagine you're living 100,000 years ago. Every single day is basically one giant experiment. Can we eat this? Can we climb that? Can we cross this river? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer eats you. Life back then wasn't about avoiding mistakes. It was about surviving enough of them to learn something useful. In fact, your entire family tree exists because generation after generation, someone made a mistake. Someone else learned from it. And everyone who didn't, well, they're not around to watch this video. Which brings us back to our original question. What was the first mistake humans ever made? Honestly, it doesn't matter. Because it wasn't the last. And that's exactly why civilization exists. Human history isn't a story of perfect decisions. It's a story of millions of terrible ideas that slowly became brilliant ones. So maybe the first mistake in history was also humanity's first invention. Not because it worked, but because someone survived long enough to try again.